Let's turn some Star Wars characters into D&D characters. Now, a lot of these guys are going to be very similar because it's not a fantasy world, and most of them are just normal people with guns, but I'm going to run through the most significant examples. Let's do the obvious ones first. Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker are human Psi warrior fighters, and most Jedi are going to be this combination. The Force itself provides a lot of magic, but these two guys spend most of their time on screen being warriors who can push, choke, and improve their physical prowess with the Force. And there's not really much else to say. The Psi warrior was basically made to mimic the Jedi in Star Wars, so for this list, that's basically cheating. So, let's do Obi-Wan and Yoda, who I believe are Bladesinger wizards. Obi-Wan is a human, and Yoda, I don't really want to say goblin just because of his appearance, but in the original movies, he does act quite quirky. And in the prequels, sorry to remind you, you could definitely argue that he shows his Fury of the Small in that fight with Count Dooku, so yeah, goblin. But why are these guys wizards, but Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader aren't? Well, their time on screen shows them being more intelligent and wise than being a warrior. Obi-Wan and Yoda are even depicted as fairy tale old wizards akin to Merlin to teach the hero. Also, they both use the Force in much more magical ways than the previous warriors, picking up massive objects with telekinesis, casting non-detection on themselves so they won't be seen by the dark side, and
these aren't the droids you're looking for.
Also, while the newer movies were a load of old bantha shit, Luke Skywalker transitions into this class as we see him do more magical stuff with the Force, like creating illusions to fight Kylo Ren in a way that you have to ask, is that astral projecting? And speaking of which, Kylo Ren is a human, again, Great Old One Warlock. Now hold on, I'm aware that his power isn't directly bestowed by Snoke, but purely thematically, from what we see in the movies, he fits it pretty well. Being able to meddle with your mind with the Force, to drag out information, using Pact of the Blade for his signature weapon while answering to his big spooky alien daddy. But Snoke is just a tool. Let's go over the puppet master himself, Emperor Palpatine, which, bear with me, is a tiefling storm soul sorcerer. This is weird. Very weird, because yes, our favourite prune Sheev doesn't have horns and a tail that we know of, but it is indisputable that Palpatine is a devil. In fact, he is the devil. I mean, listen to Lucas.
Palpatine represents the devil. He represents the pure evil.
And Storm Soul Sorcerer, that is a lot of S's, fits him simply because using Force Lightning is basically his thing in the movies. And arguably, he constantly uses tempestuous magic in his fight in the prequels. Yes, Shadow Sorcerers, that's a lot of S's again, may be more spooky and aesthetically dark, but that combination of Storm Soul Sorcerer is the best we're going to get for Palpatine. While Palpatine is the unfortunate symptom of how you can't translate these characters one for one into D&D, here's one that I feel way stronger about. Chewbacca being a bugbear artillerist artificer with maybe some levels in Barbarian. Chewbacca sits in a weird spot in this format, but think about it. He's pretty martial, good in a fight, good with his bowcaster, and is great with tools. Fixing the Millennium Falcon, that's the Artificer. Artillerists are great damage options for the class, and his bowcaster can be a perfect Force Ballista. And Barbarian because he gets arm pull-off cranky. But why Bugbear? What, because he's also big and hairy like bugbears? Well, that helps. But his size and long limbs are seen in the movies, he acts alongside Han Solo and can benefit from being a little sneaky, and, I love this detail, because of how close Wookiees and Yoda are, if Yoda is a goblin and Chewbacca is a bugbear, then that's like how goblins and bugbears are. Perfect.
It's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
I mean, they're not related species by any means, I mean, they look very different, but in the horror video, I established the soft rule that they are aliens, and both of them are aliens, so there's that. So yeah, I feel super confident about that. So, let's go over his best, but Han Solo is a human thief rogue. It's so obvious. He sneaks, he smuggles stolen goods, he's human, and they even call him a rogue. And if that wasn't bad enough, with Thief's reflexes, he can absolutely shoot first, regardless of whether or not Greedo did. There could be arguments about whether some other subclass abilities match better, but if we're talking about the whole picture and the most fitting option, then it's gotta be Thief. But now, the guy that I simply could not pass up. It's pretty tragically funny because whatever I pick, it will ruin your perception of that character combination. So, Jar Jar is a Triton, drunken master monk. Or is he? You see, in making this video, I was driven a bit mad by trying to classify Jar Jar. He seems to defy all classifications. And I finished on Drunken Monk because we imagine them swaying and swiping, and in the movie he's able to dodge and hold his own against a group of enemies, which Drunken Masters excel at. But monks have an air of mastery about them. They have speed, agility, and control, which Jar Jar definitely does not. And then I thought, maybe he's a dance bard because they're evasive and... well, he definitely talks. A lot. But it doesn't feel right. Where's the art? Where's the knowledge? At the very least, where's the charisma? Any other class that you pair him with, it just doesn't work. But then it hit me. Jar Jar is a ranger. And why? Well, because he guided Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon to his home, but, more importantly, because ranger is regarded as the most useless and the most hated class. He might have no skill and accidental survivability like a ranger does, but the most hated guy in Star Wars, how can he be anything other than the most hated class? And for race, how can he be anything other than Kenda, the most hated playable race? Thank you for watching. I'm Ellis, and click the video on screen to see more fun character ideas from fiction and my own imagination. I love you all, and I'll see you next Saturday.